Kisagotami and the Mustard Seed. Kisagotami was a young woman who lived during the time of the Buddha. She was married into a wealthy family and was deeply attached to her only son. However, tragedy struck when her son suddenly died, leaving Kisagotami overwhelmed with grief. Unable to accept his death, she carried her dead son from door to door, asking if anyone could help bring her son back to life. Her actions were met with sympathy, but everyone told her that death is irreversible. However, one person suggested that she should go and see the Buddha. Filled with hope, Kisagotami went to the Buddha and begged him to bring her son back to life. The Buddha, with compassion, told her, "Bring me a mustard seed from a house where no one has died, and I will bring your son back to life." Overjoyed, Kisagotami hurried from house to house, asking for a mustard seed. Every household was willing to provide her with a mustard seed, but she could not find a single house where death had not visited. As she continued her search, the realization dawned upon her. Death is a universal experience, not just her own personal suffering. This understanding led her to accept the death of her son. She returned to the Buddha, who gently explained to her the first noble truth, that suffering is a part of existence. Through this story, Kisagotami learned the second noble truth, that the cause of her suffering was her attachment and inability to accept the reality of death. The Buddha then taught her the third noble truth, that there is a cessation of suffering, which is achievable through understanding and acceptance. Finally, the Buddha introduced her to the fourth noble truth, the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is the Eightfold Path. Through following this path, Kisagotami was able to find peace and eventually became one of the Buddha's ardent followers. This story not only highlights the universality of suffering and the importance of understanding and accepting it, but also illustrates the path towards overcoming suffering, as taught by the Buddha in the Four Noble Truths. Brief overview of Noble Eightfold Paths: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration.